Well, hello there. It's finally time to do this. It's a Q&A video thing. 15 years of YouTube, and that was the best I could come up with. I even forgot that it was happening. I saw somebody else posting about their 14-year anniversary coming up, and I'm like, I've been doing this for over 10 years, but how long have I been doing it really? And apparently this year, back in February, it was actually 15 years. I didn't even realize. So I put a video out back in May, and it was like, hey, I'm gonna do a Q&A video. If you guys want to ask me stuff, go ahead and ask me, and I'll answer it here. And I got the screenshots of all the comments, and I have videos down now, so you can't ask anything else there. But these are the comments or whatever that I got for questions. Your questions. I'm answering your questions. Let's move this down a little bit. Let's fix our shot in the middle of the thing. That's how professionals really do it. Okay, so first question here. I guess I'm going to have these pop up on the screen, I believe, as well, for everyone. So, the first question here comes from George Timentel 2522. I'm sure I said it right. What is it like being on YouTube for 15 years? I've always started channels and lost momentum. What's your secret, Sam? That is I don't know, like for like okay, so like what's it like is that basically at this point it's kind of like it's always been. If you've noticed on my channel, I haven't really done anything all that. Like I've tried some different like shows and concepts and things, like sure, but for the most part, I kind of do the same thing all the time. So it's not like I'm really out here, reinventing the wheel every time I'm out here or like trying to keep it spiced up or whatever. I'm just doing the stuff that I kind of enjoy and I like doing. So, like, when I'm interested, I'm like, oh, I like doing tech stuff, looking at that, that's interesting, I'll start doing videos more about tech stuff, or, like, I like gaming, I'm talking about gaming stuff, or whatever, and so it's like, these are things I'm just already interested in, so, like, making videos on them just gives me kind of an outlet to be kind of creative, to share, to do that stuff, so I just kind of keep doing the same thing I already do. That's basically it. The way that you do it is you just make content that you enjoy anyway, you just enjoy the process of making it, while you're doing it as well, and you'll be able to keep doing it pretty much. Also, I keep everything under one roof, so I never feel like I have to upkeep this channel or that channel or something. I've never like actually gotten rid of my YouTube channel. So yeah, it's I don't know. That's the secret. The secret is you just have to make stuff that you enjoy making, and then it'll be easy to keep making them because it's fun to do. Obviously, this is also coming from someone who is not a monetized channel or anything. I'm not doing this for, like, a job. So, like, obviously that makes a difference. If you want to actually make money, be famous or whatever, you're going to have a different relationship with your channel than someone like me. But either way, I do think, like, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoy what you're making, then you enjoy making it and everything, like, you'll just kind of naturally keep doing it. It'll probably just feel the same as it always has. It doesn't really rapidly, it doesn't change like crazily. It's a slow change for things, but for the most part, I feel like I still make videos pretty much, albeit with higher, technical quality. Still pretty much the same kind of videos you'd be seeing me make, 15 years ago. I haven't really changed much. I'm still very much a product of the 2010s YouTube era. It hasn't really changed. Next one here. Ooh. I believe all of the next questions, I think, are all from PlayStation Panther S. What made you do YouTube in the first place? Well, what made me do YouTube? I guess it's kind of a mix of things. I used to record stuff like on tapes and whatever, like audio cassette tapes or whatever with my brother all the time. And so it's kind of partly an extension of doing stuff like that and recording things anyways, like music and comedy, show bits and whatever. So once I got a camcorder as a gift, that was a pretty easy, like, oh yeah, cool, I can make stuff for videos and put them up on YouTube and stuff. So I guess that's really what made me do YouTube in the first place, probably. It's just naturally I like the idea of creating these little shows and doing things, and obviously I've changed a lot of what I do now isn't really based on that kind of stuff. I'm not doing a whole lot of really actual creative, interesting, creating new things like this or whatever, but that's kind of where it all started, I think. And I don't know, it's that's yeah, as far as just what made me do YouTube in the first place, mostly that. is an extension of me already creating, like, recording stuff and, like, listening back to it or whatever. It's like, now people can also hear me do it at the same time. It's not just for me and my brother and, like, my family or something. It's people can go out to other people, and that's, like, cool. So that was that Sony Handycam that I got in like 2009 or something. Like that was a good gift. My parents get a good one there. Depending on who's watching this, if you're hate watching me right now, you're probably like that's where they went wrong. Also, when they had him, they should have aborted that. But other than that, yeah, that's probably where it started. Next one, same person. Which content do you prefer making, such as reviews / ASMR, and what's the deal? I don't know if I necessarily prefer making any content over the other, but like I certainly go through like moods or interest levels for certain things, and like generally speaking, I guess I make music a lot less just because I used it more so as like an outlet for like when I was like sad or angry or stuff like that, and I've been more happy lately. I've been happier, so the past few years I haven't done as much of that. I'm working on an album, but I feel like I say that all the time, so like it is gonna come out someday, but who knows what day that someday is. And then for like other stuff, like I don't know, like ASMR, I mostly I needed time for that. I've got plans, but I always say that I have plans. I want to do more or whatever. So again, similar thing. Except like ASMR is more for other people. I don't actually go back and like listen to my own ASMR. I don't trigger ASMR in myself, unless it's like a sounds video. Probably could, I guess, but like I don't really listen to those. So like that is really just for everyone else. And then like yeah, the game reviews, I like doing them because I'm already playing games anyways, and I'm thinking about them and talking about them, so it kind of all goes together just with my lifestyle and the things I already kind of do. And what's the deal with Sam? It's been a long running series, and it's just fun to like throw this out here, like goofy observations, and use it as kind of like an outlet for. Sometimes I just want to be goofy about stuff. Sometimes I want to ask an actual question because I'm interested in the answer, and sometimes it's like I'm just gonna use it as a springboard to like rant about something that I want to rant about instead of just having a random rant video, right? I don't know. So I don't necessarily prefer any of the stuff. It just like depends on my mood on when I'm making stuff or what I'm into at the time. I think that's probably how I would put it. And it's just mood, timing, whatever allows. And whatever I feel like making, that's kind of what I'll make, I guess. I would put it that way. We have another one from PlayStation Pantherus for Did you realize you had an ASMR voice before doing ASMR videos? Well, no. I guess I saw some ASMR stuff before I did it, but I didn't think like... The thought process wasn't like, my voice is really good for that. I should do that. I never thought that. I think most people do not like the sound of their own voice. Despite the saying of like they just want to hear themselves talk, they love the sound of their own voice, blah blah blah. It's not that. Most people, when they hear themselves back, they're like, "Oh no, is that what I sound like? I hate it. Turn it off." So I didn't really think my voice would be good for anything. It's just kind of one of those things where I probably realized it more. Like I got the idea that it might be when I was uploading videos, and it was people were like, "You have a nice voice for that." I'm like, not a lot of ASMR videos exist right now. I was kind of in pretty early on that when it was just rising, so I'm like, I don't know how much of this is true versus like there's just nobody else really doing it, other than the large ones that everyone else already knows. But I feel like what kind of made me like feel like it was more real, that like maybe it actually is people who aren't connected to that, like I'm just talking to, like on like voice calls and shit, would fall asleep on me when I was talking to them, because of just like my tone is like not super exciting, and like I mumble a lot, and I guess I kind of like at this point I'm like, why would that be too? Like, is there something to that? And like thinking about it, I'm like, I guess there is some quality to it, because like there is some weird like, I don't know what the proper term is for the voice, but it definitely feels like there's almost like it sounds like I'm talking through like a filter all the time or something, a little bit. And also the way that I talk, I feel like it's more like when most people talk, I feel like they talk in a way that is they're saying each word, and I feel like it's more like I'm just like putting out sound waves, and I'm forming my mouth and throat and things to form the words that I want for the sentence. So instead of like each individual word being a piece. It's like, okay, here's my sentence. I'm going to cut the pieces out as I go. That's a really weird way to explain that, I think, but that's yeah. So I think that's maybe part of it too, the way that things kind of like flow together and everything. But yeah, no, but to answer the main point of the question, like, no, I did not realize I had that until much later. So hopefully I still have it. I don't know if I do, but if you fall asleep to this video, like, comment, and subscribe when you wake up. Next one is just, where are you from? I'm from Minnesota in the United States of America. I think that's about as specific as I want to get. So I don't know if you can tell by my accent, because I don't feel like I have one, but that's also because I'm here and I'm me. So I'm like, of course I sound normal, because it's the way I always talk, and people around me talk very similarly. So that's just how people talk. I don't know if I've ever quite noticed it too much, other than like you exaggerate the Midwestern thing. It's like, oh, for the sake of Pete. Like, and then it sounds a little more like, if I hear like a commercial, for some reason I hear commercials, local commercials or something. And it's like, yeah, come down to our store and you can get a heck of a deal. And you're like, I don't sound like that. I don't talk that way. And it's like, maybe I do sound like that to people who talk differently than I do. So I don't know. But that's where I'm from. I guess this wasn't a question about my accent. I'm from the United States, Minnesota. And the next one, I know there was a follow-up on this one. PlayStation Pantherist also asked, what are your plans for the future on YouTube or life? And then I'd put out an update about streaming stuff or whatever. So there's a reply to that. But I was like, it's fine. I'll talk about all these, because I think this is a slightly different question than streaming necessarily. But part of that is streaming, yes. For streaming, I already talked a bit about that, where it's like sorry, computers, screens. So for like plans for the future, I guess, let's put it okay. So on YouTube, anyways, we're talking about stuff. I've got right now. I guess I'm trying to work on, because it's July right now, or sorry, it's June. It's not July. I have more time than I think. It's June right now, so like I have this plan right now. Like, one of the things I want to do is I want to try to make ASMR August happen, where I just have an ASMR video every single day in August. So I'm trying to prep for that, so I have videos ready to make that a thing. I mean, like, general plans for YouTube, I don't really have anything super different planned. I mean, I'm working right now also, just today as I'm recording this. Just before this, I recorded part of a video you'll eventually see come out, where I'm checking out Linux, and also my first Asus laptop. So if you're interested in how that's gonna come out, that's a thing. And like I say, I'm working on a new album. It's been in the works for a while, probably since like 2021 or something, maybe, if not longer. So there's that, and then I mean, I've got games I want to play and like do reviews on those and stuff. I mean, obviously I'm still kind of always doing that. I've got an N64 modern, like, analog 3D is what it's called. It's a modern N64 solution that's going to show up presumably at some point, because I pre-ordered it, and so I will eventually be talking. I'm going to try to do a video on that as well. As I'm saying all these in one after the other, I feel like I have a lot of things I need to do, and I'm not going to have the time or motivation to actually do them. But we'll see. As if I don't do them, I don't do them, because I am trying to take that approach a bit too, right? I don't want to just do stuff because I think it's a good idea and I plan it, and then I'm like, I have to do it now because I said I was going to. I'm trying to do better at that, and just like do stuff that I'm actually like motivated to do when I'm motivated to do it. So all this is tentative, of course. As far as streaming stuff, I mentioned this. The streaming thing is like I like doing it, I guess, but the thing is, like, I don't always get people showing up for the streams, and then it takes a long time for me to, like, it takes a long time to stream, plus I have to watch through the entire stream to cut it into highlights, and it's like, I don't know. So, like that, I'm kind of cutting back on streaming a bit. I want to change it to, like, I might stream some stuff just to play it and not save the VODs or anything on that, and just, just if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, whatever. But I also am throwing around the idea of like maybe I'll stream just more select things that are more focused and shorter, and that way I can stream them and then like also record them at the same time, and then I can get the highlights for that, and then I'm just more focused on what I'm doing with those. So that's kind of, you know, we're kind of scaling that back, so I have more free time to do things. Um, and I don't know. And as far as like life, I have no idea. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life. um, but I'm taking that as it comes, basically. So I don't have any big life plans that I'm working on for that either. So most of it, you know, I'm just doing YouTube stuff and having fun. You know, let's do that until life eventually crushes me and then I die. Is kind of the plan. And who knows when that'll happen? It could be tomorrow, or it could be in another 15 years, and I'll come back and I'll have like 2 people ask a couple more questions by then. But I think that's gonna wrap it up because that's all the questions I actually got. So I don't want to sound like ungrateful. I mean, I have over 700 subscribers now, which is not huge for somebody who's been on YouTube for 15 years, but for someone who has not changed how they make content, despite the algorithm wanting you to do so, and the trends and everything, I guess I think I'm doing like, you know, I'm doing fairly good that I haven't like lost a ton of people or anything, and I'm still enjoying it. You know, I mean, obviously, if I quit enjoying it, I would probably stop, but I just like doing it, so. I'll probably be around to continue doing it. And I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. I guess. Not a lot to really say. It's you know. I mean, I guess all I'm trying to say is I understand that my audience, people who are subscribed and like kind of like watching the stuff, are not the kind of people who are going to be super dedicated, tuning in every single day. Not like I'm that consistent, anyways. They're not. They're the kind of people who will kind of just be subbed to stick around and come back and check every once in a while and be like, "Oh, cool, there's another thing from him that I want to watch." And then they'll comment and like, "Yeah, I'm here." Like, I mean, most of you are just commenting on the same video and you're like, "Hey, I'm watching this page turning video for however many years ago. I'm still here every year." But like, I don't have a super vocal crowd of people here, but they are like watching the stuff and they're hanging out. It's not like they aren't here or they're like ghosts or bots or something, right? So that's cool. I'm not just throwing this out into the void. But if there's anything you wanted to ask, I know that video like kind of came and went really quickly for the Q&A thing. I mean, it was out for like a month, but like I didn't super push it or anything. It was only posted really here. So if you have any other questions you want to ask me or anything like that or whatever, then definitely leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you there and I'll try to answer whatever for that. If you're curious, if you're interested, that's an option that's out there. But that I think is gonna do it for this video. I just want to throw this out here. In 15 years and woohoo, and I mean, you know, most people do special things for these kinds of videos, but I mean, you know, you would think 15 years would make me better at knowing how to end videos also. And if you were wondering, does he actually know how to end videos after 15 years? You think he would, right? The answer is no. No.